I used to believe that saying, I have no money, would attract lack. But looking back now, that belief was actually the real block. And if you ever felt resistance around saying those words or feeling those feelings that I cannot afford this right now, this reflection might open something for you. Even if many wouldn't admit to it, because I do think that we collectively know that this is a wrong way to perceive it, but I do think that many inside of themselves actually associate I have no money with shame, embarrassment, failure. In many manifestation spaces, the talk about becoming this and becoming that. You need to become this rich version of you in the present moment. And yeah, they're right about that thing. The present moment is the key to unlock anything and everything within ourselves. But the idea of becoming somebody else fuels the feed of duality and fuels the limitation of identity. For a long time, I've avoided to say, I cannot afford that, or I don't have money for that, for two reasons mainly. Before learning more about manifestation and how it works and how we can apply different strategies, I didn't like to say that. Not so much related to shame, I don't think so anyway, but maybe it was my ego projecting the idea of failure or something like that. But I had this inner sense of wanting to say yes, and also this inner sense of, yeah, everything works out eventually. I've always believed in the flow state, not so clearly maybe all the time, but it was always there, dragging me towards it. I think the main reason why I didn't like to say I don't have money for it is because I didn't want to be that person who had objectives or, no, that's too expensive. So I was more like following along and like, yeah, whatever. And it took me incredible places. I mean, I in my youth, in my teenage years, I don't know how many travels I've been on, but don't even having the money when booking the travel. I've been to New York, I've been partying with my friends, I've even paid for another friend's who had even less money than I had for her travel. So yeah, it has gotten me many experiences and destinations and has in that term made my life so much richer, and that's wonderful. But I've also sensed this limitation of, instead of focusing on giving money, energy to the things that I want, I have let other people's longings and wanting dictate things for me. And when that comes back and bites you, when, your credit card, no, I didn't have a credit card at that time, but when you have all those monthly payments and subscriptions and you're like, I burned up all my money on things that maybe I didn't necessarily wanted. Do you follow me here? And when I finally got to understand and discovering the world of manifestation, I didn't want to say, I don't have any money, obviously, because I didn't want to manifest lack. I didn't want to manifest that. But here's what I didn't understand back then, and this is important. This is valuable. Manifestation is often misunderstood as word control. And yes, words can cast spells, so we should use them wisely. But it's more to it than just the words. And I do think that people also sometimes try to override the so-called reality, basically meaning how we perceive something with affirmations. And if we perceive ourselves as poor or don't having enough, or maybe even feeling stressed about debts and bills to pay and so on, and even though we can actually use words or audio suggestions to rewire the thoughts, the programs in our mind and also in our unconscious mind. But the thing is, sometimes when we apply affirmations in order to try to rewire our mind to reprogram our paradigm and replace it with a new one, that put up a wall of resistance. And that wall of resistance give that old paradigm, that old belief system more energy, because this resisting energy is actually fuel. It's ego fuel, and that will sustain this program and even probably evolve it, make it grow. And that resistance, that vibrational state, is exactly what your subconscious mind responds to. That's the reason why you may probably still be struggling in manifesting money or abundance, whatever you relate to money, because there is this resistance program inside you, this vibrational state projecting the very thing that you want because you are trying so hard. This trying. Okay, what I want you to pay attention to here is not what you are doing, if it is working or not. It's your sense, your emotional state. Does it feel aligned? Does it feel serene? Does it feel effortlessly? Would you do this, whatever you are doing, in order to manifest money, whether or not you will gain the money or not? That is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. And that is also a sign, okay, because the thing is, your subconscious mind doesn't care about the word you use, but what emotions, what feelings the words you use creates. That's the distinction, and a very profound one. This is where many people unknowingly keeps themselves stuck, because the real magnet of manifestation is not words. The real magic of manifestation is not the language that you use. It's emotions. And it is also identity. Because if you still have limitation and restriction of an identity in your subconscious, and if that identity also has these limiting programs, that is what you will attract. But instead of changing your identity, I want you to know this. You have no identity. Your true identity is undefinable, and it's infinite, and it's divine. There is no words to describe your identity in true essence. So forget about that. But the so-called identity that is often driven us and driven what we experience and what we attract. And those can look something like, I don't have enough. I need to prove that I'm abundant. And I must always say yes, because that's the thing with identity. It captures us in a prison of a self-image. And I wasn't afraid to say, I don't have any money. I was afraid of being the person who didn't have any money. And that identity, the identity who was afraid of not having any money, of being that person who didn't have any money, that identity was the commander of my manifestations. So I didn't manifest any money. And when I actually started to let go, started to not care anymore, and when I realized that everything there is in the present moment, there is where the true abundance always lies. I started, this didn't happen overnight, even if it sounds like that in this video, but I started to realize that what I have or don't have does not ever define me. And we are always abundant, and sometimes we experiencing that abundance through financial manifestation, and sometimes we manifest that through time abundance or location freedom. But the truth is, if we have money on our account or not, that is not the sign or the pointer to abundance itself. It is just a means to an end, a means to an experience of abundance. So that's when I started to realize that I have no money or I have plenty of money is no identification. It's just a natural fact based on the perspective that I apply, not a definition. Just like I'm tired or I'm hungry, being hungry doesn't state who you are. Being tired doesn't define who you are. We all need sleep. We all need to eat. And not having any money right now doesn't define who you are either, and not what you can and will manifest further along the journey. And here is the part that changed how I relate to money completely. Money equals energy in exchange. Saying no is an energetic decision, not a limitation. It's your choice what you want to invest your energy in. And alignment is not to constant say yes. Saying yes sometimes means saying no to the things, the space, the void that you do not want to fill with garbage. That means saying yes to alignment with the present moment. So when you say consciously, I don't have any money for that right now, what you really are saying is, I don't want to invest my energy there, meaning that you are saying yes to something else that you want to manifest your energy in. And if that is not expand on your depths, good for you. That is clarity, not lack. So if that thought ever pops up in your mind, don't resist the thought. Don't try to replace it forcefully. Let it be seen without identity attachment. So next time you hear a thought, I don't have any money, I cannot afford that, let it be there. It doesn't define you, and it doesn't define what you are capable of manifesting. You can manifest money, you can say no, you can honor the present moment without letting it define you. The present moment is the portal to your inner being. What you experiencing or perceiving in the present moment is not the portal. That is just the stage. If this resonated with you, sit with it for a moment. And if you feel called, share in the comments. What identity around money have you noticing in the past or lately? I really want to learn from you so that I can serve you.